Hi, this is Shane with the Rational Trader. It is, what is today? Wednesday, July 25th. And we're, sort of the theme of the week has been, can we use the volume profile information to better understand the structure of the market and as a result minimize the days when we're not doing well, so that we can better take advantage of the days when we do. And today's very interesting. This shows right up here, minus 350. It's actually a gain, which we'll talk about why in a minute. My live result, minus 220, so down 2 trades. I'm not going to take the time to look at those today because I want to cover this, and it'll take some time here. So what we were talking about this morning and what I had failed to implement properly last night was what you see right here. What we're doing is we want to take trades, or we want to look for trades, I should say. We want to get predictions from the machine learning system when we're at the value area edges, so the highs and lows. So that's here and here. This is where the value area was at this point in time, or at low volume nodes, and those are characterized by these red lines and orange lines, which we'll see later. But one thing we want to do is that sometimes we have cases where the low volume nodes, or particularly the value area edge, the high or the low, is still very near the point of control. The point of control is where most of the trading is occurring, and we don't want to trade there. We want to stay out of there. This is a place where the market will likely spend a lot of time. We want to get away from there, look for trades, and travel back to that point of control, or go the other direction as the market is in price discovery mode. So what you see right here is exactly that case. Right, the point of control is right there at 74.31. But the system this morning was actually going, hey, we're at the value area high here, let's take trades. And so took a trade here, takes a loss, takes another trade here, takes a loss. This is a full, there's 5 points there, there's 2.5 there, so that's 7.5, which shouldn't be there. So we have to sort of subtract that from this number here to get a real sense for what's going on. I fixed it live here, which is why these bars are no longer orange. So you should only see trades being taken when the bars are orange, meaning I've colored the bars orange at low volume nodes or at the value area edges when we're far enough away from the point of control. And far enough away is defined as 20 ticks. So I think there's some further refinement there, but that's where we're at right now. I see a problem here. We actually take some losses early, where so these two trades here, where we get up to the value area and see a short. That's perfectly fine. I'm not. There's not a lot of room there between it and the point of control, but there's enough. Basically, we want enough to get to scratch, and this first trade by itself was not a problem, but then immediately you get another one. So it sort of as it grinds here, as it grinds against the value area high, it's traveling up it. All right, and then interestingly enough, we get a very clean short signal there, but this code is too aggressive under the sort of the normal regime, so we miss this beautiful fall. So there's a couple things here. One is this just a fact of life and you got to deal with it when you're grinding up the value area or down the value area low? Or is there something I can do about that? I don't know the answer to that yet. The other thing is, given that we are really sort of changing how we go about choosing locations to trade, can we get more aggressive and take these more aggressive codes? I don't know the answer to that either, but that's easy to test. This issue of, what do you do when you're sort of traveling up or traveling down the value area, high or low, and getting lots of signals is, I think, quite a bit more difficult to address. But even with that, even with these losses here early, this is actually what, 1, 2, so three quick losses, right, as you're going up. It's too much, right? Even with that, we still end up making up for it later. So let's take a look and see what happens here. We try to get short there, that is, the market's still going up. So we traveled back to this low volume node. I like what I see here in terms of make predictions in these bars, because you've traveled away from the point of control, and now your expectation is you can travel back. These kinds of V-bottoms are very difficult to catch, so I'm not surprised we don't get a prediction there. We get a short here. Okay, so we travel all the way up to the value area high. Get a short there, and then first target. These bars are really odd. First target is there, and then the second target is taken out on the trail there, right at the point of control, actually. So a 5.5 and 8.25 there. We come down to this low volume node here. What I find interesting about this particular node is you can see how often we tested it, and yet it stayed a low volume node. So there was not a lot of trading going on at the price level, even though we kept bouncing off of it. That's kind of interesting. So we short here, take a loss. Here's another one of those too aggressive to take trades. This one would have worked against us. And then up here we get a long. No, this is a short here, so we take a loss there. We're well outside the value area now. Let's see. So then we get long here on this nice pullback. First target is there. Taken out on a trail there again. Boy, just a little too soon on that trail getting taken out. All right, a little interruption there. Okay, so we were talking about, again, you can see this case where the 20-tick trail it seems too tight. So not ready yet to start spending time testing larger trail amounts, but I want to get these other things worked out, and then we'll decide there. But you can see if just a little bit bigger trail, we're going to move stop to there, we're going to add there, and then start trailing. We'll have the opportunity to participate in the continued move here. We get long again here. First target's there, taken out on a trail there. Kind of the same thing. It looks like you'd at least get the opportunity to participate if the market's going to go. It doesn't in this case. And then what? 1240 we should stop. So that's right here. So the good trades here happened sort of later on in the day, after we'd clearly broken out of the value areas way down here. We've clearly broken out. So I think that's pretty interesting. If we subtract, this is actually a net gain here. If we subtract the ones that we shouldn't have taken. This is a problem, though, because I think there's 1, 2, are there 3 trades there? So 3 trades there in a row like that. That's going to take you out of the market for the day. So we need to take a look at that and see if there's something we can do. It's a tough call, and maybe you just have to live with it, and it's one of those days where you take your max loss and off you go. The alternative is what makes it a difficult call is that you often want this to happen. You want that. You want the machine to immediately take the next signal, even if it's in the same direction, because you had to try a couple times to get in. But having said that, I've seen this case a few times now where the market is grinding up right at the value area high or down at the value area low. But I seem to recall, at least subjectively, more often you're climbing. And I'm curious if we see this particular issue a lot, and we just don't have enough experience yet doing this. So something to keep in mind. Nonetheless, with the normal account, I stop at 9 because just kind of the way that whole system's been tested. And what the data shows that the bulk of the movement is in the first 2 hours. But what we're doing here is a little bit different by paying attention to where the market is, where the market is spending its time, where all the volume is being traded at. We can get more aggressive later on in the day with confidence. It's not. I don't feel like this is as random a case where, because you've got some real data that says, all right, I'm away from the area where the market is spent. Most of the volume is traded. All right, so I'm pretty encouraged by what I see here. We're going to continue to refine this and get this out to members. I don't think it'll go out this weekend. It'll have to be next weekend because there's a change that has to get made in the server to enable this. Actually, I'm looking at this again here. We actually did an ad here, it looks like. Let's see here. We got in there. First target there. Oh yeah, we added right there. Oh, interesting. On the break. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense to me. So we added on the break here. We moved the stop to break even wherever that was. And then start trailing by 20. And unfortunately, that's just enough to take us out. That's really unfortunate because that's 2 contracts we'd be trailing up here. Okay. All right. Okay, that's it for today. Let's see what tomorrow brings. I think I've got the distance from the point of control issue fixed. There's another refinement I need to make related to how you decide that you're near the value area high and low, but I don't think I'll get that done till this weekend. Okay, I'll see you next time.